necessitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation undesirable motives of another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past and pray?
Good readings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, our attractive fan base, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I am your host, Tasker, and we have the very celebratory today, Nick.
Yes, I'm celebratory. I am a celibate, so it kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Now, is this misinformation you're spreading, or is this an actual life decision you've come to terms with?
I decided I'm going to become a monk, so I am now celibate. Like, I haven't been my entire life, but now I am, right? So I take back the hundreds of millions of women that I've slept with, and I am now going to be celibate.
I see. I mean, 50 episodes, that's enough for anyone to kind of be like, wow, I think I've reached the top of the mountain. There's nothing more for me to do. So now it's time to look inward instead of expanding outward.
Exactly. And look, yeah, I'm celebratory today. Yes, we have hit episode 50. That's why I'm celebrating. But there is something bigger in the news going on right now that I am celebrating. We made a post about it on our social media. Okay. Aliens are here.
Oh, man, that thing that was trending on Twitter.
Yes, trending on Twitter. Trending in the Jerusalem Post, whatever the fuck that is. And now it's in all the American news outlets. A man named Chaim Eshid, right? I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Chaim Eshid.
Sure.
He is a former Israeli space security chief and former head of Israel's Defense Ministry Space Directorate. And now he's a respected professor. I don't want to say that he has good credentials, but if anybody was going to come out to the world and tell us that aliens were here, I'm kind of hoping is Chaim Eshid. All right.
Well, some people are arguing that he's reached what's that called? When you're old and you just start like making shit up and you go crazy, because he's like 80 something years old, right?
He's pretty damn old. He's up there. But I mean, come on, you can't blame everything on dementia. You can't. You just can't blame everything on dementia. He was in charge of the Space Directorate of Israel. Okay. I'm going to take his word for it. He also mentioned everybody. Look, I know everybody. We were talking about the Galactic Federation when we went over the Pleiadians, right?
Right.
Everybody thought Nick sounded like a fucking psychopath. But Mr. Israel over here said that we have been and are currently in cahoots with the Galactic Federation. And he said those words exactly, Galactic Federation. I'm not crazy. Right. I know what's been happening this entire time. And now it takes a former Israeli general to come out and say it, and then you all start believing it. My heart is a little broken.
See, depending on if it's true that everyone does start to widespread believe this, I'm going to call this event the Great Enabling, because now there's going to be a fucking shit ton of people that are going to be like, well, this guy said it was, it's like, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. I kind of want him to be right, because I think that would be really fucking hilarious for our podcast to see what happens, what kind of episodes we'll create if there actually was real legitimate proof of aliens. Some old dude, Raven, to me, that's not evidence. That's just like credentialed. Sure. Who's to say he's not just like, fuck it. You know, hey guys, there's aliens. That's why Trump made the Space Force.
But his age could be used on the opposite side of the argument here. Maybe he's getting closer to his deathbed and he knows it. And now it's time to tell people what's really going on. That's what I personally believe is happening here. If I knew that aliens were here and I had to keep it a secret for 50 plus year career, and then I'm about to die, what are they going to do? Kill me? I'm going to die in 2 weeks anyway.
Yeah, well, you think it would have happened by now? Or it's like, I don't know. It seems a little too like, if it was that easy to do it, wouldn't have it happened already. That's kind of why I'm skeptical.
Yeah, we all know, Tasker, we all know you're skeptical. It's okay, man. It's okay to be afraid. You just have to admit it.
I hope he's right. I hope he's right. Like I said, that could make some really funny episodes, and we could do like revisits on everything now that there's like with a different slant to it. But for now, we're still in gray area.
Was that a racial thing against me because I'm half Asian?
It can be. Do you want it to be?
Nah, I hope not.
All right. Well, maybe next time it will. So keep your fucking shit together. Good God. Wow. I'm feeling so fiery today. All right out the gate.
I know, but hey, at least this is an episode that you and I can probably agree on for the most part. So there's not going to be we're not going to be calling each other names, and we're not going to be like virtually punching each other. One more thing I wanted to say about this Israeli thing with the aliens. He also mentioned that we are doing business with the aliens in underground bases on Mars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Elon Musk, explain.
Yeah, Elon Musk, you fucking weeaboo. You explain what's happening on Mars. Look, I know that there's underground bases on the Earth. I've never heard of them being underground on Mars before. That's news to me. So if that's happening, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think I read the article and they said that at this point there have already been humans on Mars. It's because, we had alien help. But what's nice though is they also said the aliens came in peace. So that's positive, unless they're pulling a big fat one on us, and that big reptilian uprising you've been like yammering about for years might be happening.
Look, if there's a galactic federation out there that is working with us, there are species out there working against us, and I highly doubt that the reptilians are not the only ones, but they're the ones that we should be afraid of.
True. Well, in a weird way, this next topic, we won't get super into the connection today, but the topic we're talking about today will be vaguely related.
It will be, but before we get into that, we have to talk about our horoscopes. Today's a great day for horoscopes.
This is very true. This is monumental. And like, of course, just right at the gate before we even get started, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, I know we usually save that for the end, but 50 episodes, and we see it. There's those of you consistently listening, and we know it. We see it. We appreciate it. We think about it when we touch ourselves. It is a wonderful thing. Oh, come on, man. Don't act like you don't.
Touch myself to what?
To the fact that we have people listening to us.
I respect our listeners enough to not masturbate to nameless, faceless people. I'm imagining what our audience looks like and fapping in a corner. Is that what you think's happening?
Isn't that like the same as watching porn, essentially?
Kind of, but at least I can see them in porn, right? You're just like, I wonder what our fan base looks like. And yeah.
No, I'm not saying we're fapping to them directly. It's fapping to the idea of a fact that our voices are being listened to.
Oh, I've totally jerked off to that.
Yeah, see, exactly. It's not that weird. It's conceptual jerking.
Conceptual jerking.
Yeah, see, it's more of an ego thing. I think it's probably baseline narcissism. Anyways, let's go to horoscope.
Let's go to horoscopes. You're a sexual degenerate. You know that?
I'm on a long downward spiral, and I'm glad you guys could be here with me. So, do you want to go first, or is it me today?
I'll go first today. There is more than meets the eye to a money situation today, Cancer. There could be errors in your financial records, or someone may not be telling the truth about an important item. You're a caring, trusting person, but this isn't the day to blindly accept anyone's statements. Check the facts and see for yourself, then act accordingly in order to see best
your
interests. I have to check the facts.
Yeah, it also sounds like you might be committing tax fraud.
Yeah, tax season's coming up. Look, guys, I've said it once on the podcast before. Don't pay your taxes, all right? The chances of you getting audited by the IRS are fucking slim.
Oh, yeah, don't listen to that advice at all. The FBI agent in DC listening to this right now just got the biggest hard on because he's like, dude, it's like that time when that guy started reporting a bunch of premium Snapchats, and then just like a wave of like e-thoughts got audited.
Oh, see, that's justice. That's justice right there, dude. These ladies thinking that they could just make money online and not have to do a real job. Not according to the IRS.
Well, now there's an OnlyFans, so we can legitimize that business a little bit more. And one can argue actually that supporting an OnlyFans account is actually way better than supporting big porn, the companies, because hey, at least if you're doing an OnlyFans, you're supporting somebody's livelihood and not some rich fat cat.
Yeah, we'll find out when I make one. So as soon as I make one, I'll plug it, and we can all move on with our lives.
Yeah, it's moral porn. See, you could do the right thing. Subscribe to Nick, give him some money, help his lifestyle.
Yeah, you'll find out my fetishes are quite weird. All right, now let's move on to the star ratings today. Oh my God, looking good. All right, so my sex is a 4 out of 5.
Damn,
right? I'm feeling groovy today. My hustle's a 4 out of 5. My vibe is a 4 out of 5.
Woo.
And my success is a 4 out of 5, baby. I'm 4 out of 5 across the board today.
Damn, dude, the mojo is pumping.
It's all the coffee I drank earlier. So I'm good. I'm ready.
All right. Can't wait for the coffee to wear off and you recheck the page and it's all ones.
Yeah. They're like, you fucked up.
Oh boy. All right. Let's see. On my end, someone you think of as a friend may prove less than trustworthy today, Scorpio. Yeah, the better look out. See, man, I told you got to look out today. There are indications of deception all around you. Perhaps someone is keeping something from you or telling outright lies. Don't be too suspicious of anyone, but check the facts of a situation before you take someone's word for anything. It's always best to do that anyways. I definitely have people out there who's doing this probably to this day. So I think you're safe on this one, Nick. I think there's other people out there that might be slinging some shit.
I would never lie to you about anything. I've been your best friend for almost a decade now. Probably a decade? Almost a decade.
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think I've ever lied to you. I'll tell it straight to your face, right?
Yeah, no, that's very true. And even if it's like you try, I've noticed because, you're a nice guy and you try to pat it sometimes, but it's like that. The truth is always there, though.
Yeah, you got to beat around the bush sometimes. On certain topics, if you care about the person, you still got to tell them what's up.
Right.
But you got to put your fingers together and fucking look down at your shoes and be like, what I was thinking,
the genital herpes is, you should probably get it checked.
Yeah, that doesn't look like an ingrown hair. I'd probably get to the doctor for that one.
I don't think those are laser burns. Disgusting. Good to know that there's trust and reliance here, and that's why we've made it so far.
Amen, brother. Amen. How are your stars looking though? Are you groovy today or what? What's going on?
Dude, you'll 4 out of 5 for sex, 4 out of 5 for hustle, 4 out of 5 for vibe, 3 out of 5 on success. Dude, they knew today it was our 50th episode. We're feeling good. We're excited and we're ready for it. And even the stars they're right there with us.
Fuck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Look at us vibing hard. We're just like, we're two groovy organisms making our way through this thing we call life, right? This arbitrary, depressing, unnecessary thing called life. But we're still groovy.
Yep. We didn't ask to be born, but here we are.
Here we are, I guess. Anyway, so let's
so we'll move on to, of course, 50th episode. Wow, we've been doing this for almost a year. This is a lot of content, and it feels really great. So we thought we would treat y'all with a topic that we thought would be that fits the level of excitement, awesomeness, greatness. I didn't have the right. Yes, yeah. We need to talk about this. And I'm going to let you introduce it because I know you have a very heavy passion about this topic we're talking about today.
Yes. Disclaimer right up top. I'm biased. I am 100% fucking biased when it comes to our topic today. All right.
Mm-hmm. And this is also our foray of being a political podcast. We've never tried that before. So yeah, we're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, we decided that our topics on cryptids and aliens and government conspiracies, for the most part, just aren't fitting the bill. So we are now officially switching to a political podcast. We will be now considered political commentators. I for the Libertarian Party and Tasker for the Republicans, of course.
Of course. It's perfect. We're very excited for the new changes coming your way.
Now, everybody, on our special 50th episode edition today, we will be discussing two of the most vile and evil fucking people to ever get their greasy, pale, palmy, fucking sweaty hands on American politics. All right. And we are, of course, referring to the Clintons. And yes, this will be both Bill and Hillary we will be covering. And now, if you couldn't tell from the episode title, there it is. We're talking about Bill and Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one. And the controversy is not lost on really any of us. I mean, these names have been up in the news for a while, but I got to be the first to say, I really don't know a whole lot about them. You've been talking about how the Clintons have been evil for years, but I mean, I've just never really researched it or really looked into it. So this will be just as eye-opening for you as it is to me. And yes, that is also my excuse for not reading the outline.
Again, I said it to him about 20 minutes before recording, so he couldn't have time to read it. He reads at a fourth grade level, very slow.
No, I actually can't read at all. That's just me. I just like pretend and just kind of get lucky with the words. I did a good job though, right?
You're doing an awesome job, dude. You were like a serf, right? Like I'm a knight, and I'm like a lord, and you're my serf. And if you just do a little bit better in your serfdom, I might teach you how to read.
Damn. Well, that might be worth bucking a couple more bales of hay and hiding my Black Plague blisters.
All right. Well, listen, guys, this is actually going to be a two-part series. All right. This episode today, we'll be discussing some of the more public controversies and scandals which were made known to the American people, the ones that we have, quote unquote, full on proof for. All right. And then on the second episode next week, we're going to be going over the more, like Tasker would put it, the conspiracy side of things. All right. The stuff that we don't have, quote unquote, proof for.
Or as Nick would call it, the truth.
That's exactly what I'm going to be referring to it a lot as next episode. All right. Because you guys know where this is going. For those of you out there who know about the Clintons and the conspiracies behind them and our government, you know where next episode's going. But we have to do the background first on what we already know for sure to set the stage.
Oh, yeah. It's part of like, you know, like with the speech, ethos, pathos, logos, and all that stuff. We got to set the stage. We got to, before we get into the stuff that we'll say is a little bit harder to sink your teeth into. We need to, you know, like I said, I don't know why they're evil. So let's figure out why they're evil. And then we'll figure out why they're actually space aliens.
Now, without further delay, all right, I want you guys to put on your best political public appearance smile, right? With the showing your teeth, closing your eyes, making sure it looks legit. Find a baby, right? Go to your local grocery store, find a baby, kiss it. Right, kiss it on the cheek or the forehead. Recommend not the lips, but if the parents are cool with it, then do it. And then afterwards, drink its blood when no one is looking, so you can obtain an eternal youth. Okay, that's what we're gonna do to get into character for today's episode.
It's the best way to do it. I mean, well, I don't want to blow our cover, but yeah, that's usually what we do to hype ourselves up before we record, right? You just, you know.
Yep. I mean, I suck it down.
All right, sorry, FBI agent. We're kidding. This is the part that we're just joking. This isn't real. We don't do that. We drink. I'm drinking tea today. Actually,
I drank BCAAs.
Yeah,
Right
with infant blood.
Yeah.
Yikes. Okay. Anyways,
all right, guys. Let's get into this. So first and foremost, we need to talk about our boy Bill Clinton. Okay, and specifically, we're going to be talking about the allegations of sexual assault and sexual misconduct against him. It happened more when you think of Bill Clinton, you think of Monica Lewinsky. That's all you really think of when it comes to, well, everybody knows he has like a crazy sex drive, but all you really think of is Monica Lewinsky. Let me tell you again, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. But he did. And
yeah.
He did. He's a fucking liar.
There was a comedian, Frank Caliendo, who does an amazing impression of him. And they always talk about how smooth he was, which I'm sure it's actually a very dangerous trait. But his whole thing, it's like he could look you right in the eye and say, I am not here. I mean, what is here? Isn't here just there without a T?
I mean, he's not wrong. That's the thing about Bill Clinton is he could captivate an entire room.
Mm.
It's been said that he could talk to you in a room of 300 people and make you feel like you're literally the only person in the room. But that's a problem. I could do the same thing to somebody, and I have mental issues, right? Like I'm probably sociopathic, but that's why I can do that. He can do the same thing.
See, that's the thing. It's like, oh, you could talk to you, make you feel like you're the only person. It sounds like an admirable trait. And what we're angling is it's polar opposite. That's the sign of a villain. Like that's the sign of you can do so much with that rhetoric and that power, the power of, just shooting off some oral.
Yeah. Just getting your knob slobbed up in the Oval Office, you know? Okay. So look, I don't want to be all SJW on you guys. All right. I believe it or not, despite my reputation, I am not a social justice warrior.
No.
But there will be mentions of, like I said, sexual assault, sexual misconduct in this upcoming section. If that makes you uncomfortable, grow up. All right.
You would make a great therapist. You know, you just go in and you're just like, oh, I see. Is that really bugs you? How about you get the fuck over it? And then you like crush a can of beer on your head.
Yeah, I have a prescription for you. It's called Stop Being a Big Pussy.
And they say, what is it, that meme where it's like, yeah, you could pay for therapy or just, remember the phrase, hey, sometimes it be like that.
It do be like that.
Mm.
Now, there are a total of 4 women who accused Bill of something along these lines. But I want you guys to keep something in mind. These are 4 women who publicly decided to say something, but we don't know how many women out there are too afraid to say something that he might have done this to.
Oh yeah, this was before the Weinstein effect, which was when somebody comes forward to tattle on powerful men, other women now feel the confidence to do it before. And I mean, I know tattle sounds like a little like poo-pooing it, but like no, it's a really real thing, especially the entertainment industry, where if you said anything wrong, not only will they gaslight the fuck out of you, but you're also your whole career's ruined. So it is a huge risk. And back then, before the Weinstein thing happened, like that was just the fact that 4 even came forward, it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And they had the guts to do so. We'll talk about the last one. But we'll get there. So keep that in mind. These are 4 women. It could have happened to many more, right? It probably did.
Most likely.
Knowing Bill fucking Clinton, it probably did. So let's begin by talking about a woman named Juanita Broaddrick. Okay, now look, I'm not trying to like make fun of a victim, but when I see the name Juanita Broaddrick, my initial instinct is to go Juanita, right?
Yes.
But then she has like a fucking Scottish last name or something, Broaddrick. Spelled weird too. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting clash of names, or a clash of consonants.
Her mother was probably a Spanish maid, and her father was probably a road warrior.
I mean, I'd read the book. I'm just kidding. I can't read. So anyway.
Yeah, damn straight. You better not be able to read. I haven't given you that privilege yet.
That's how Nick keeps me in line.
Yeah, that's why I do the research, because I don't let Tasker touch it to put all of his anime shit inside of it.
No literacy for me, at least until I'm ready to grow in my serfdom, something like that.
All right. Juanita was a volunteer for Bill Clinton in the 1970s, most likely a volunteer aide. And during a 1999 episode of Dateline NBC, she told the world that Bill Clinton had raped her in her hotel room in the late 70s during her time as a volunteer aide.
Oof.
And Juanita went on to say that Bill had asked her to meet up with him for some coffee in the lobby of her hotel. But in order to avoid the media and reporters, he asked if they could go up to her room. Okay, first off, ladies, let me just say that's never a good idea.
Yeah, that's kind of that's like base level baiting.
Yeah, unless you're on a date with this guy, or unless like you're into him. If you're just meeting up with technically your boss for coffee, and he's like, hey, so there's a bunch of reporters outside, and you know where there's not any reporters? Your room. Why don't we let's go up there real quick and see what happens.
Oh boy. Oh man, yeah. I that's so scary, man. Then it's just so predatory and shit. And this was, of course, before Bill Clinton was president, right?
This was
70s.
Yep, 70s. So he was, I don't even know if he was the governor of Arkansas at that point. At this point, he was probably trying to work his way up through the political ladder, right? I believe he was governor of Arkansas in the 80s. So this was before that.
Fuck. Ay. Not
But
a
he
good
still
start.
had that charm, man. I mean, yeah, not a good start.
Crazy. And also this was the 70s. So, you know, was it the 70s when like a bunch of like, you know, sketchy shit started like really like becoming like commonplace?
Yeah, because in the 50s, I mean, all throughout time, sketchy stuff takes place. But in the 50s, you imagine it's a different world completely, right? Everybody's conservative for the most part. There's no goddamn hippies ruining everything. Everybody's got their crew cuts. Everybody's got, and the ladies have like their hair all done up, right? And they have like really cool, like retro futuristic technology where like a toaster looks like a fucking blaster from a sci-fi movie. And the point is, everything was really cool back then. And then in the 60s, you start getting a counterculture, aka the hippies. And these hippies have tainted America since then. And it only got worse in the 70s. And yes, by the 70s, drugs and sexual misconduct was rampant thanks to the hippie movement of the 60s.
I'm seeing an agenda here that you might be may or may not be trying to push.
That I don't like hippies?
Yeah.
Or that we should go back to the 50s America?
I think a mixture of them both.
I don't like hippies. I liked the 50s. I wasn't around for it, but I feel like my soul was, you know? Like I feel like I was that dad reading in the newspaper every morning, eating his grapefruit, right?
Are you the reincarnation of some like, you know, office worker who ended up getting murdered by his wife?
Because I just drove her to the edge.
Yeah, because he didn't give a shit. He's a classic 50s husband.
Yeah, that was me. Look, the 50s was a great time. So, but yes, to answer your question, the 70s, that's when things started ramping up. And people thought that they could get away with anything.
Brief side note too, there's a theory that like, what was it? Like, was it asbestos or something like that they said was like making people more violent? Because it was like, it wasn't asbestos. It was like lead. Yeah, because they use lead for like everything. And they think that might have actually degraded our brains over time. And that's why it's suddenly like serial killings and like roofing people and like doing a bunch of like fucked up shit just suddenly like jumped up.
Yeah, that's very true. That's why people who were kids in the 50s, you see become some of the most notorious serial killers in the 70s and 80s. That's another reason. And then another side note to our side note, a lot of people think that there aren't a lot of active serial killers, because when we think of serial killers, or when you look up serial killer documentaries on YouTube to fall asleep every night, right, like I do,
Right.
you get a lot of killers from the 70s to sometimes the early 90s. Now, the problem is two problems. One problem is that serial killers being active today aren't going to get caught for a while, so we're not going to see anything on them. Another thing is that there are still a lot of active serial killers in the U.S. There's something around like 40 to 50 active at any one time, notwithstanding yours truly.
Of course.
So, interesting little note there. But yes, be careful out there. So when your boss or somebody asks you to go up to your hotel room to get away from non-existent reporters, maybe say no.
And I think with Bill, there was a little something worse than lead in his paint that led him down the path that he went.
Exactly. And so Juanita then went on to say during the interview that as soon as Bill had her isolated and they were alone in her room, he raped her. There's no specifics as to how it happened, but she did mention that he even injured her lip during the assault by biting it too hard.
Ooh.
Now, naturally, Bill would deny these allegations through his representatives, of course, aka his lawyers. He's not going to come out himself and say this. He wants nothing to do with it because he probably is reliving in his head.
Right.
But supporters of the president would go on to point out that under oath, prior to this Dateline interview, Juanita Wood denied the rape allegations, and she said now that she did so only to protect her privacy.
And it's rough because nowadays it's like, who knows? Like and this isn't even conspiracy. Like she probably got strong armed into it, where they're just like, you better stop, otherwise we're gonna fucking kill your kid or something like that. Like,
yeah,
that I'm not surprised. So I would actually venture to say I think this did happen, and I would not be surprised because like I said, this is before the Weinstein thing. This is when it was pretty easy to get people to shut the fuck up, especially if you were working in government. And like we said, if Bill's the as good of a suave liar as he would be, it's like, well, if he actually did it, he wouldn't just say no. It's like, man, he's good at hiding it.
He's very good at hiding it, and you have to remember he's a very powerful man. He has a lot of powerful people on his side. So there's no win in this for Juanita, unfortunately. But I personally believe too that it happened. So
yeah, I would say I'm with you. I think it probably happened, and she just got silenced.
All right, let's move on to the next woman, and her name is Leslie Millwee. That's Millwee. Millwee.
Millwee. That's kind of what's the word? Very springy, very there's a word I have. It's very what's that? Fuck me. It's that like not lackadaisical, that's too long, but it's like it's around that line. Very, you know.
Look, man, I know you can't read, but you can't come up with words either.
It's right there. It's like it's right there. This is one of the most frustrating things. It's like you can almost feel the sounds of the word in your head, but they're not just coming together.
Let's just say it's a very dreamy name. It's a very I don't know.
Lighthearted. I don't know.
It's a nice name.
It's a nice name. Let's go with that.
Leslie is a shit first name, though.
And with the good last name, it balances out to being just overall aight. It's aight.
Okay, so in 1980, Leslie was an employee at an Arkansas-based news television station, which is no longer around. Now, at the time, Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas. And Leslie would go on to say that she was sexually assaulted by him on 3 different occasions. All 1980 occurrences, I'll call them, would see Bill coming up behind Leslie, groping her breasts, or to be more scientific about it, her titties.
Great.
If you will.
Good. I'm glad we're using the proper terms.
Yes, I don't want to let down all the doctors out there listening to our podcast.
I'm glad you do your research. I think that really does bring a whole educational front to the podcast.
Thank you. And on the second instance of the 3, she said that he rubbed his dick or his penis, saved myself there, up against her butt, her buttocks, her ass, until orgasm.
Oh, that's actually really disgusting.
That's fucking gross.
I think that's probably happened a lot more at Warped Tour than I imagined.
Yeah. Look, you put a bunch of horny people in a room together, close quarters, groovy music playing. There's going to be some Don John moments in there. You know what I mean?
But in all seriousness, no, that's fucking terrible. Like, that's really fucking weird and gross. And it's like, that's definitely, I would press charges.
Yeah. I didn't get to find anything out afterwards, but she did come out saying this. I don't think there was any litigation.
Right.
But I mean, she's speaking up.
So it's up for it's up for debate, but like I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I know I'm not really like, because I know normally I like to play devil's advocate here, but like I don't like politicians. I think anybody in a position of power probably abuses it, because if you don't, you wouldn't be in power. Like, that's how you do it. You have to work the system. You have to work it for yourself. Just like how Jeff Bezos isn't a trillionaire because he works so hard and because he's a great businessman. He's a trillionaire because all that money that, I don't know, is supposed to go to all of his employees' fair wages, or I don't know, proper healthcare, or I don't know, bathroom breaks, all in his pocket.
Dude, I saw pictures on Reddit of employees being so overworked right now because of the holidays, of course. But not like it's any different from the rest of the year. They're always overworked, but even worse.
Well, with COVID too, Amazon is like going crazy.
Yeah, dude, these people were literally asleep at their stations because they were so overworked. It's fucking sad, man.
Yeah. And I know somewhere in Europe, they have to work in cages and they have like a little like piss bucket because they're only allowed like one bathroom break a day.
That sounds like my basement, dude. A piss bucket in a cage. I have both of those.
Exactly. For consensual fetish purpose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, FBI agent, like, we're chilling.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm charismatic. I'm not a serial killer though. Like, come on.
I can't wait for you to drop your rap album where you just confess to everything like every rap artist does.
and then I'll just be like, hey, it's art. I'm just joking, just like I am right now. My comedy is art. I'm just joking, but you'll never fucking know.
That's half of the illusion of entertainment.
Woo!
Fantastic.
So that's the end of Leslie's story. Unfortunately, yes, she was rubbed up against by the to-be president. It's fucking, first off, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Second,
for a second, I thought you were going to end the episode. It's like, well, that's it for the episode. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I hope you have a nice, depressing night after that. All right.
Yep. 30-minute episode, 50 episodes. Woo! See you next time. Anyway.
Look, I just want everybody to know I'm being very respectful right now. Okay.
Yes.
I am fighting my natural instincts to do character work because this is a probably real situation that happened to this woman, and it's not a time to joke. I draw the line at joking about her name, but I'm not going to do any character work. I'm not going to do any Bill Clinton impersonations during the situation. I'm not doing it.
As tempting as it might be, like you said, these are very real people that this really probably did happen to. So, I mean, the reason I say probably is because, we don't know. The truth never, like, they got silenced or we just don't know for sure. But we're doing our best to be respectful. It's not something we're used to doing, but we're going to try to do it just for you.
Just for you guys, yeah. Because I don't want any mean, fucking angry emails or Discord saying, "Dude, I was messed up that you made fun of her." I was like, "Look, I'm just trying to bring a little joy to you, all right?" During a very, very sticky and depressing section of our episode.
It's gonna become a new copy pasta on our Discord. Dude, it's fucked up that you blank.
Don't even start that, Tasker, because they'll do it.
I can see it.
All right, let's move on. And now we come to a woman named Paula Jones. So Paula Jones was an American civil servant working for the Arkansas Industrial Development Commission in 1991. And working as a state employee in her capacity, on May 8th, 1991, Paula was in attendance of the annual Governor's Quality Conference at the Excelsior Hotel in Little Rock, Arkansas. Paula would go on to say that she was approached by an Arkansas State Police trooper at the conference and was told to report to Governor Clinton's hotel room.
Oh,
again,
boy, that's not the report you want to get.
No, I'd rather him come up and give me a parking ticket.
Yeah.
Than have to sleep with Bill Clinton.
Ugh, especially nowadays.
Yeah, fucking skeleton. And once in the room, Bill, quote, propositioned and exposed himself to her, unquote. I didn't get any details as to what propositioning means, but I'm assuming it went like this. Hey, Paula. So I couldn't help but notice that you decided to come up here. Look, here's the deal. I'm the governor of this place, right? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go ahead and show me your titties. All right. And you show me yours. I'll show you mine. Right. So I'm going to go ahead and do it first.
Didn't you just go on a 3-minute rant about how we're going to respect the victims?
Yeah. Sorry. I forgot. I will not do it again. It was too good of an opportunity.
I swear I did not do character work about that woman.
I'm sorry, it's not a joke. But technically, that wasn't a joke. Technically, I was just dramatizing it, right? Like they do that in documentaries all the time. Why can't Nick do it with his own voice?
That's true. Dramatic reenactment.
Yeah.
You should probably state that before you do it, but do what you gotta.
Look, man, it just said proposition. I was trying to fill the blanks in for the audience, all right? That's
probably
how it went down.
Well, yeah. You're also, that's the thing. You're probably not wrong. Like, that is probably exactly what he's, and use the same rhetoric too. Because I mean, when you're in the position of power, I imagine you're a little, the mask comes off a little bit, you know?
Oh, absolutely. That's what all sociopaths do. As soon as you get alone with them, and they get in their sights what they want, the mask is coming down. I can tell you from experience.
Terrifying, especially to your victims, which I'm kidding about because it's not real.
Oh yeah, kidding. Oh yeah, no, for sure. The piss bucket and the cage are for me.
Yeah.
So,
for when Cyberpunk drops tomorrow.
oh my god, I'm so fucking excited.
Yep. It's too expensive for me, so maybe I'll buy it a different day or when it goes on sale.
Maybe I'll buy it for you for Christmas. You'll never know.
Not a bad idea. Or if you guys want, we have our Patreon. No,
Don't you ask them to buy you a video game.
What great way to celebrate our fans by abusing power and soliciting donations to buy a video game.
If there's one thing that you can take away from this episode, Tasker, don't abuse the power.
Yeah, you're right. It's getting into my shiny bald head way too quickly. I got to calm down.
Calm down, man. I'll buy you the fucking game.
So there, you guys are good. You guys are good. There's no more requests. And Patreon wasn't coffee. That's what we use, right?
Yeah, we don't even have a Patreon, man.
Nah, fuck. I told you I'm not good with words today. I couldn't even think of that word earlier. I'm out of sorts, man.
Hey, me too. But you know what? We're doing a good job, and we're making people laugh with our impersonations.
I hope so. Or they're all furiously typing in the Discord their grievances right now.
Which is fine. Look,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
understand. All right.
It's free internet, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, Paula kept quiet about the incident for a while, but almost 3 years exactly to the day, which will be important in a second, on May 6, 1991, she would file a sexual harassment lawsuit against Clinton asking for $750,000 in damages. And to top it all off, she wanted an apology from Bill.
Now, that might not seem like a very big deal, but like, dude, man, that's just, especially when you fucked up and you have to do the humiliating speech of like, I'm wrong and you're right. Like, dude, yeah, that's some ego that goes there. Unless you're a true sociopath and you could fake it.
You could totally fake it. But he was probably thinking, we'll get into it in a second.
Mhm.
Now, the fact that it was almost 3 years to the day of the incident when she filed this claim was no coincidence, right? As the statute of limitations were only 2 days away from expiring. Now, for those who don't know, a statute of limitations is a restriction of 3 years on an incident before it can be brought to litigation. If you wait 3 years exactly or more to try and file a lawsuit against something that happened, too fucking bad.
Yeah.
So she waited 2 days before it was expired to do this. Now, if she wanted to seek damages and bring the story to light, she cut it really, really, really close. Now, I do want to say something in her defense, though. Some people will look at this and say that it's damning for her in her story because maybe she waited that long and she's like, maybe I do want to get that money from him even though nothing happened. But you have to remember the position that she's in. She's a young person working under a powerful man or working alongside a powerful man who assaulted her allegedly.
Right.
And maybe she made the last minute decision to actually bring this to light because she knew her time was coming up and she's like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it. So there's two sides of the coin.
Yeah, then I could see that. She was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then when the time came where it was about to expire, she was like, fuck, like actually, whatever. Let's give it a go.
Exactly. So that's personally what I think happened, right?
I could see that.
Now, the legal proceedings took years to get through, mainly because of the fact that Clinton was elected president essentially right before and during the beginning, and everything was put on hold until after he was out of office. And they claimed that he didn't have enough time to be president and do go through with this personal lawsuit. Which is, come on, that's fucking bullshit.
It's super bullshit. Trump's going through that right now.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, something else I didn't mention about Trump. Apparently, he knows about the aliens in the Galactic Federation, according to this Israeli guy, Chaim.
Right. Yeah, because last episode, or one of the recent episodes, yeah, you said that they purposely didn't tell Trump.
And I was wrong. I apologize, guys. I was wrong. Apparently he knows, and this Israeli guy said that he almost slipped up, and that's why he came out and said everything. So
Interesting.
all right, but back to this depressing shit.
Right.
Initially, on April 12th, 1998, the judge granted Clinton's motion for dismissal because, to be frank, right, Paula couldn't show any proof of the situation and that she had suffered any damages. Unfortunately, it's sad, but true. Sometimes you just can't show proof of a situation like that.
Yeah, fucking frustrating too. I can only imagine what she must be going through.
And 3 years later. So 3 years later, it's definitely hard to show proof.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Paula was, or not, I'm sorry, not even 3 years. That's almost closer to 7 years at this point.
Oh, yeah, yeah, because we had to wait for the presidency and shit.
Yeah. And now Paula, naturally, she was pissed off about this, so she appealed the dismissal. So, in order to basically get a move on with everything, or to not fight it, in my opinion, to not fight it further so that he wasn't exposed, he settled with her out of court for $850,000 if she would drop the appeal. And she accepted, but unfortunately, she never did get that apology.
Almost $1 million. But how fucked up is it that when you're rich, you literally can just be like, just literally buy your way out of crimes?
That's the problem. That's the problem with politicians. That's the problem with people like Jeffrey Epstein. How long did Jeffrey Epstein get away with the shit he was doing solely because he was rich?
Oh, most of his life. By the way, any famous rich person whose career is a socialite, they're human traffickers.
They're full of shit.
Yeah, there's some shit going on. Nobody says socialite. That's fucked.
Yeah, what is this? The 1800s? What are you, a socialite in like the upper northern the northeastern like fucking UK where you're wearing like fluffy dresses and like going to balls? Oh, thank you, sir. You know, what are you, a fucking socialite? No, you're touching kids and selling other kids to people to touch them.
Yep, you don't trust. You got to be careful. Be suspicious of every rich person because they're gonna spend a shit ton of money to media propaganda you into thinking they're on your side.
And look, guys, listen to Stone Cold Steve Austin. DTA, don't trust anybody. All right?
Damn fucking right. And then chug a beer if you got it or if you can drink it.
Hell yeah, brother.
Mm-hmm.
That was more of a Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I apologize.
Still good. Still fills me with warmth.
All right, everybody, let's get this kind of depressing and sticky section of the episode out of the way. And let's talk what?
Just go on. Well, I'm not even going to acknowledge it.
No, it is. It's sticky and it's depressing.
Yeah, I guess.
I could have used different adjectives, but I'm not a fucking thesaurus, all right? I say what's off the top of my head. I didn't finish anything past like 7th grade because I was like too busy vaping in the transgender room, you know, instead of smoking in the boys' room.
Dude, I fuck with transgender bathrooms so much. Like, yes, like also for the social aspects of it, but dude, some of the cleanest bathrooms, and it's a solo toilet, man. It's the best.
It is the best for the best. You hear that?
Well, and they're not called they're called gender neutral bathrooms. So technically anybody can use it. So it's not fucked up for me to use them.
Yeah, because you're a cis male and you better fucking remember that.
And I mean, I could be wrong and maybe I've been an asshole this whole time, but they had it at my college and I use the gender neutrals all the time because I'm kind of a shy pooper. And it was just kind of nice to just like, you just get your own little apartment for a little bit.
Sir, if you don't identify as an animal in the animal kingdom, you are not allowed to use this bathroom.
Oh, fuck me. Well, if I'm wrong and I'm just being an asshole, feel free to let me know. I'm willing. I want to learn. I want to know. Like if I'm being fucked up, I'm being fucked up, and I just didn't know better. I just thought it was fine because it was gender neutral. Neutral. I thought everybody. So
look, man, nobody's blaming you, right? Nobody's blaming you for using this bathroom, so it's okay.
Yes, I think so. But anyways, a little too sidetracked. We should get back to it.
Let's get back to it. Look, all I'm saying is let's get this section over with. We're going to talk about one more woman, okay?
One more, okay.
Her name is Kathleen, I believe it's Wiley. Willie?
I was really trying to get us back on track, but that just...
It's Willey. Willie.
Willie, yeah, it's probably Willie.
It's an unfortunate name.
Very unfortunate. God damn it! It's just like we're on a train on rails made out of butter.
But as we get along with this story, don't feel too bad about the joke. All right, you'll see.
Okay. Also, too, just since we're joking, we're having a good time. But like, if you are like a victim of like sexual assault, like there's people out there that want to help you, and stick close to the people who are good for you in your life, and reach out. There is a better end to this tunnel of bullshit that is 2020.
Yes, I agree 100%. Reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen was a volunteer aide at the White House during Clinton's presidency. Now, look, we all know where this is going.
Uh-oh.
We've heard enough shit now, okay? We know where this is going.
Yep.
But before we jump to any conclusions, this one is not as nearly cut and dry as the other cases, in our humble opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Kathleen claims that during an afternoon meeting in the Oval Office on November 29th, 1993, Clinton had, quote, embraced her tightly, kissed her on the mouth, grabbed her breast, and forced her hand on his genitals, unquote.
Jeez.
Now, before we get into why this one may not have happened, just know that Clinton did say that the allegations were unrealistic because she had small titties and he would never pursue a woman with small titties. Straight from the horse's mouth. Now, I didn't quote him exactly. I paraphrased to make it funny, but he actually said she has small breasts and he would never pursue a woman like that.
My God, that was this case. I think it was in Japan, but this woman was being charged for like breaking into something or such and such and such. So she got like the dimensions of the I think it was like a vent or something like that. But basically, she proved her own innocence because she proved in court that her boobs were actually too big to fit through it. So she got out of it.
Hey, sometimes boobs can save your life.
Yeah, I guess so. Or save Bill Clinton's.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Damn. That's fucking crazy, though. And did they? Did this ever make it to court? Or
we'll get into that.
Uh-oh.
Now, Linda Tripp, the Clinton administration staffer who helped expose the affair with Monica Lewinsky, testified under oath that this occurrence between Kathleen and Clinton was consensual. In fact, she would say that Kathleen was actively pursuing a sexual relationship with the president, being all flirtatious and shit, right? Being kind of thoughty. Linda would even say that Kathleen was happy after that encounter. She was like walking on air. And to damn her story even further, 6 of Kathleen's friends testified under oath that Linda's account was true. Kathleen was indeed pursuing a relationship with the president.
Damn.
Yikes. So if your 6 friends are basically also saying under oath that, yeah, she was trying to suck his dick, that's not a good look for your accusations.
Yeah, and I know and this is a tricky territory because this could be just an act of thoughterry. And in which case we say what we need to say, which is be gone.
Be gone.
But like, because it's just, it's hard to say because like there are situations out there too where it's like, which I always thought was really interesting in terms of like being sensitive and like trying to like, be reasonable for people who've gone through like sexual assault or anything like that. People seem to also fail to account that, women aren't always the innocent ones. Like, and I mean, I know that sounds like fucking, what's that? What are those guys called? The red pillars?
Incel? Are you an incel?
It sounds incel-y, but like, it is a powerful man and a powerful man with a fucking hell of a libido. So like, there are women out there that do actively seek to get some power for themselves and get themselves in that situation. And if we're looking at it through that perspective, if we're assuming that Kathleen was probably consensual, well, what a great position to be in, because if it's consensual and she gets what she wants, which is power and influence, cool, she got it. But if it goes south, she could just call basically sexual assault. So that's why it's like on both ends, like it kind of checks out. And it sounds to me like this one's probably bogus. Sounds like Kathleen was just engaging in some thoughtery, but like we said, nothing was ever fully determined, and but there essentially just wasn't enough evidence or anything really, and it's just so basically we're just taking the word for it. And I mean, the fact that all of her friends were trying to like, I mean, this is politics too, because they easily could just be trying to take her down. And there's so many. This is why fucking politicians suck. This is what, because no matter what, there's some evil bullshit going on, even if it's not. So you know what? For this one, I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna touch it.
All right, I'll touch it. I'll touch it real good. Look, I don't think it happened. That's my personal opinion. If 6 of your friends and the person who helped expose the Monica Lewinsky affair is saying that it never happened, or that the way that she said it did, and that she was trying to get with the president, it probably went down that way.
Yeah, that one, it does seem more believable that way. The other stories, I definitely think the women were assaulted for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this one though, it just seems, if I were the jury, I would probably more on the side of, I could see it kind of going that way, because sometimes that's how some people play it. They play the, there's a role for the, do you know what I think it's called a kunoichi, I think.
What language is that, Tasker?
It's Japanese.
Yeah, I fucking figured it was Japanese.
Yeah, it's a female ninja. But the thing is, the big difference is, and this is just a cultural thing. I'm not like trying to like disparage, if you're a woman, you want to be a ninja today, go for it. But back then, being a female ninja meant essentially, because real ninjas, they try to avoid fighting whenever they can. So a female ninja would just basically just engage in hardcore thoughtery. And once they got your guard down, and once they started, maybe tried like going at you, then you fucking poison them and kill them, and you did your job.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Sounds like a new fetish.
Could be. I mean, you could look it up. I'm sure you'll find some good stuff. I would do that right now, but that would derail the podcast even more.
Yeah, because you'll get all distracted and start jerking off. So we don't
possibly.
Want that.
Yeah, but I'm working on. I got to learn your hands-free technique. That seems to be helpful.
I finished like twice since we've recorded, so
you've hit it well. It's pretty impressive. You keep a straight face.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right, look, guys. Before ending this section, I know this is a rough section. We're getting through it. All right. I think it's worth mentioning Clinton's confirmed, quote unquote, consensual affairs with Monica Lewinsky and Jennifer Flowers. Monica, that's the one we all know about, right? The old, let me tell you, America, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That whole infamous speech, that was about Monica. All right.
Right.
And yes, it was allegedly consensual, but you have to remember something. Not to get all fucking social justice warrior on you guys, but Monica was a 22-year-old intern at the time of the affair, and he was the president of the United States. And this could be seen as a gross abuse of power. So even if it was consensual, there had to have been some kind of pressure on her, whether she knew it or not, right? Even if she went in full force knowing that what she was about to do and wanting to do it, there's pressure there when the power levels are so different between two people.
Well, and technically, if Bill Clinton's the antagonist here, we should technically be rooting for her for trying to, dip into that a bit and get a little, I don't know. What do you think you could get out of it from that?
I don't know. I honestly don't. It's so hard to tell why. Maybe she was attracted to him. And yes, like I said, maybe it was consensual and she pursued it, but there's some kind of pressure there from his position. There has to be.
Yeah. Or maybe she was just into powerful men.
Yeah, that could be true.
That's an argument in and of itself. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I know dudes do weird shit to like, or in certain situations, depending on what they're into and what they're not into. Like, I don't know. This is a very like deep dive into like the psychology of what we're attracted to and like what position like someone might like, I'm trying to think of a example that fits for men, because it is arguably stereotypical a bit that there are just some women who just have a huge thing for powerful men. So like for us, would it be like
a pee fetish?
Not exactly what I was looking for. I was gonna say like I think fucking like alt rock and like goth fashion is pretty cool. And no, that's not really a good example, huh?
Oh, you're talking about in women?
Yeah. Like, what is something like what would be an equivalent for like a woman might go for a powerful man, just like how a man might go for a blank woman?
Yeah, like goth, I guess. I mean,
like that's pretty cool. But like, because that's not really a thing with men. Like, maybe like I don't know. So it's like I'm trying to think of who's a powerful woman, like Beyonce. Like, do men like, because she seems to have more female fans than male fans, right?
I can't stand her. I can't stand a bitch, but she's in the Illuminati, so that's mainly why.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh man, I kind of want to look into this more. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a deep topic. It's a very deep topic. The point is, just think of the other side too, right? Mm-hmm. Just think of the other side. Yeah, it was consensual, but there is some kind of pressure. There's some kind of something.
It would be like it's similar to like if a guy met like a supermodel, like a famous model, like what's her face? Where it's like you might not necessarily like be like they're like exactly your mold of what you find attractive, but because they're a famous model, you as a dude, you'd be like more interested in trying to get in with that just to say that you did it, you know?
Yeah, like a conquering type thing.
Yeah, like a Kate Upton. Like if you met her and like if like she offered to sleep with you, most people would probably take it, and because they could just say like they did it, just it's a weird dynamic. It's a weird dynamic. And also 22, you still got that your youthful hormones going, so I'm sure that had something to do with it.
Yeah, her eggs were all still in a basket.
God. Anyways, okay, that was, like I said, we are riding on butter rails today.
Lastly here, we're going to talk very, very briefly about Gennifer Flowers, because on the other hand, that was just a smelly, sticky, allegedly 12-year-long sex-filled consensual relationship, because Bill has the libido of a fucking dolphin. All right. So that happened, and that was consensual because she was a grown-ass woman. That was just, he did that shit. You know what I mean? That was they banged a lot.
It just happened. It went down. It was a simple transaction between man and woman.
Yep. So that's the only actual, in my opinion, fully nobody's to blame relationship in that we have literally covered this entire time.
Damn.
But we did it. We got through the hard one. We got through the one that now I can make jokes again. Now I can stop being so respectful, because that's not like me. I don't like being respectful.
It's like holding your breath for how long have we been going? An hour?
It hurts.
Yeah. But now we can, let the oxygen flow yet again.
Okay, so that was depressing, yes, but let's move on to the next controversy of the episode. Oh boy. The don't ask, don't tell military policy. Jesus, basically, I want you all to know this is how Tasker and I run the podcast.
We had to be very clear about a clear don't ask, don't tell the minute we began recording episode 1.
Yep. Don't ask,
man.
Don't tell was the official policy in the United States military instituted by the Clinton administration regarding the military service of gay men, bisexuals, and lesbians.
I'm not keeping that in.
Damn it. Scissor me timbers, dude.
Oh my God. Maybe.
The policy was issued under the Department of Defense on December 21st, 1993, and was in effect from February 28th, 1994, all the way to September 20th, 2011. Mm-hmm. 2011, this was still in effect.
Yep. We were alive and kicking.
Basically, the policy prohibited all military personnel from discriminating against or acting negatively toward closeted gay people. And I know what you're all thinking right now, right? Oh, that's so good, right? Don't hate, don't discriminate. That's wrong. That's fucking wrong. Yes, There is always two sides to a pancake, people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
There are two sides to the pancake. So yes, on one side, they were quote unquote protecting the gays in the military by saying you can't discriminate towards them. But you'll see how fucking hypocritical this is, because the policy also prohibited the allowance of gays, bisexuals, and lesbians into military service, openly gay.
How do you? Oh, openly gay. I was just about to say, how do you prove that?
Oh, well, there's a gene. There's a gay gene that they can look for. So
okay. Right. Yeah. Just go to your local pharmacy and you'll find if you have. It's not true.
It's not true. Yeah. Being gay is a choice.
It's just, yeah. Oh my God. You and your fucking pancakes. All right.
I have a lot of jokes pent up because I wasn't allowed to make a lot in the last section. I'm making jokes.
You're right. I'll let you fly and I'll chastise you later. Or if this section just suddenly cuts to a different subject, you'll know it was unusable.
Well, okay, look, I've covered my bases. I support the gay people. I love the gay people. And I've said it before. And I think I just said it last episode of the one before. We're all not 100% gay. So like, look, I covered my bases. Now let me make some jokes.
I think you said that wrong. You said we're not all 100% straight. I think is the quote.
Oh, right. Is that what did I say gay?
Yeah, you did.
Brilliant. I can't see what I mean. I'm probably
gay. Well, if that doesn't prove your point, I don't know what will.
So I'm entitled to make jokes.
Yes, this is true. I just thought it'd be funny. It's like, okay, now Bill Clinton was murdered and something.
Oh, don't worry. I'll leave some recording in here that's usable.
Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Now, a quote actually says it better and explains this policy. Quote, the policy prohibited people who demonstrate a propensity or intent to engage in homosexual acts from serving in the armed forces of the United States because their presence would create an unacceptable risk to the high standards of morale, good order and discipline, and unit cohesion that are the essence of military capability, unquote.
That's really fucked up.
Yeah, that happened like not that long ago.
Yeah, 2011 it just recently got taken out. Not even a decade.
Yikes, dude.
Wow. Yeah, that's some scathing rhetoric right there.
I mean, that's a big fucking yikes from me and from me. And that's saying something, right? Like if I'm like yikes on something, that's when you've drawn the line, you know?
Right. So I'm just curious though, because are
you a little bi-curious?
One could say, but that's not the point. Let's say if there's a war going on and say we're like, they had a draft in and I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to play gay for a while and so I don't have to go to the military service. Was that, and I'm not saying that to be disparaging, but it's like, is that something that people did? Or is that something where it's like the family like wanted them to go to the war or like this, that, and they're like, I'm gay. And now they just can't.
You know what's funny about that, or not funny, I guess, but you know what's interesting about that is people did try to do that, and they would if there was a draft, they would be investigated to see if they were actually gay. It's kind of like that movie I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where you got to have proof that you're gay. Fuck that guy over there in front of me, you know?
So you're meaning to tell me there are some military professionals whose sole duty was to do research on if your gayness was at a level to avoid duty?
Yep. If there was a draft, they had a plan and act.
Oh my God. That's wild. Like, that's like, I'm not even like laughing like that's fucking nut. This is actual policy that we had in the United States.
I think so. I could have made that up. I'm not sure though. I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm just kidding. No, it's true and it's disgusting.
That's insane. Wow. So anyways, yeah, just curious. Holy fuck.
I know, it's bad. Furthermore, the act also essentially prohibited anyone in the U.S. military service from disclosing or discussing any of their gay shit, right? Including, but not limited to, marriages, relationships, and encounters.
Damn. So can you even like not even make like gay jokes and stuff?
I don't think you can, because remember, they're also trying to prevent the discrimination of the gay people with this act. Even though in turn, the irony of it is it's the ultimate discrimination.
Yeah, actually, it's that's exactly what it is. Damn,
So-
that's crazy.
So you can't walk around during this time period in the military and be like, oh my God, you guys would not believe it. I was at this bar. I met a guy. He's like, hey, look, come back to my place. It'll be a lot of fun, right? His name wasn't Jeffrey Dahmer, so I went back with him. And he railed me in my butt so fucking hard. Anyway, guys, so like, what time are we getting up for PT in the morning? Like, you couldn't do shit like that.
Probably not. No, jeez. But of course, it's a stereotype.
What is?
You know, talking with the lisp and all that.
Look, buddy, it's a stereotype for a reason. You show me one gay guy who doesn't sound like that.
I mean, and I did just recently watch an episode of what's that show? RuPaul's Drag Race. Have you ever seen that?
I seen it. I haven't fucking. I have all seasons of that.
It's entertaining. I at first, because I'm not a big like fashion person at all or anything like that, but like, dude, when they're like fucking making the dress, I'm like, oh, dude, the fucking design sense on that is terrible. Why is that silhouette so? By the end of it's crazy. It really hooks you in.
It's a fun show. I've watched it before. It's a fun show.
Yeah.
But they all sound like that.
They don't all well in the show they do because it's a TV show. Anyways.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone was in violation of these prohibitions, they would be discharged from military service. Just like that.
Mm-hmm. Which some people might say, great, I don't want to serve in them. Some people actually do want to serve in the military. And also because, shock, surprise, you get paid to do it. It's a job.
Yeah, it is a job, but it does not pay well.
Nope. You do it more for those sweet college benefits, which that's okay, I guess.
What's the point of college benefits if you're not even alive to go to college?
Yeah.
Now, although Bill Clinton himself allegedly didn't have much to do with it publicly, it is my personal opinion and the opinion of many others that he was trying to save face by initially coming out as not in favor of the policy. But in the end, it was instituted by the Clinton administration. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this is a dude who is active in like the 70s, 80s. Like, I think he knew where he stood. Or also, was he Democrat or Republican?
He was a Democrat. But look, man, it doesn't matter. They are two sides of the same pancake. All right. They fucking one side will screw you over and raise taxes, and the other side will screw you over and slightly lower them to make you feel like they're doing something. So
Yeah.
in my opinion, I don't even look at political parties anymore as two separate entities. I see them as two different divisions of the same exact thing.
Yeah. No, either way, they're trying to fuck us all over to make more money.
That's what it's about.
Mm.
Okay, guys, let's take a little bit of a break, right? We're done talking about Bill and his fucking hellacious libido. We're going to talk about somebody who will make your libido non-existent. And of course, I'm talking about good old Pokemon Go Hillary Clinton.
Dude, oh my God. That campaign trail was interesting.
I'm just chilling over in Cedar Rapids. Fucking bitch.
Oh, these people playing Pokemon Go, they should Pokemon Go to the polls. Jeez.
God, fucking boomers,
Yeah.
man. And they're, God, okay. I gotta talk shit. I gotta talk shit about her for a while.
I think, like I said, I don't really know a whole lot about Hillary Clinton. I mean, I voted for her because I didn't want Trump elected, but literally because I don't know anything about her policy, but just the sheer hatred that people have for this woman and her kind of bumbling campaign where it became very easy to make fun of her. She was just not very likable to the public eye. And that's the thing, but that's important. Some people might say, oh, that's sexist because she was a woman. It's like, well, no, she was just generally really unlikable.
I can't believe you voted for her, man. I wrote in The Undertaker for the 2016 elections.
That's why Trump won, and that's why we had him for 4 years.
Oh, I was the swing vote.
Yeah,
I was
it was
the
you,
one
man.
that fucked it up.
It was all you. I fucking know your game.
All right, look, I don't even want to get into voting with you, man. I don't even want to get into voting. We've talked about it before. It's a bunch of bullshit. You voted for a woman whose policy you don't know anything about. At least Trump grabs people in the pussy and admits it. Okay, that was a joke. I don't like either of them. I hate both of them.
I'm happy with Joe Biden. I mean, obviously, he's got his failings like anybody does, and he's old. And I mean, yeah, would I have liked somebody younger? Or I would have taken Bernie Sanders even. But that's a tough. Like I said, how are we doing as a political podcast? By the way, how are we doing, everyone?
Yeah, guys, are we reporting correctly? Right, he's saying Joe Biden's all right, and I know as a fact that he's a fucking adrenochrome drinking old man who's probably like 1,000 fucking years old, but he gets his eternal youth.
Are we doing better than CNN? Are we finally becoming newscasters?
We have the voices.
I think so.
So we're coming up. We're coming up in the political commentator world.
Fantastic.
Specifically, today we're going to be talking about Hillary and her infamous email scandal. Now, the general public wasn't aware of these secret emails until about 2015, but the history of the emails goes back much further. And Uncle Nick did some of his research, and the following is a timeline of the private email server year by year.
Interesting. See, and once again, I don't know anything about this, so I'm very, very curious.
It's going to be a fun one.
Oh.
Now, 2008, the server used for the domain clintonemail.com is initially registered under the name Eric Houtman, but this is seen as most likely being a misspelling of one of her aides' names, Eric Hoffman. All it's missing is an H, and it's missing some stuff. But basically, one of her aides creates a secret server domain for her personal email. 2009, government employees are now allowed to use personal emails for work-related communications, which, by the way, is a terrible fucking idea if you work in the government. That was a dumb allowance.
Yep. Way to go, 2009.
But yes, it was allowed, but their superiors strongly discouraged doing so. But what is that going to do? People are still going to do it.
Yeah.
Also in 2009, the domain clintonemail.com is registered under the name of Justin Cooper, an advisor to former President of the United States, Bill Clinton. And Hillary's email is hgr22@clintonmail.com. Go ahead and email her. Dick pics.
Yeah, I love how you linked it to on the outline. So if we really wanted to, we could try it out.
Let's do it, man. Now,
maybe.
Jumping to 2012. We skipped a couple of years here because nothing significant happened. Hillary's email server was changed to use Google as a backup server in November. Then, only a month later in December, congressional investigators asked Hillary if she was using a private email.
Wait, so what?
So she was basically asked, being a former Secretary of State, if she was using a private email for any of her communications.
Okay, and with Google backup, what does that mean? Is that they changed companies or?
Yeah, so the server basically switched to Google instead of using the previously unmentioned domain server. Now they're on Google.
Okay. That's when they started asking questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. In 2013, in March, a Romanian hacker named Guccifer.
Fuck yeah.
That is a name that I will be stealing for future usernames, by the way. It's spelled Guccifer. That's amazing.
Is it going to be your OnlyFans screen name?
Yeah, Guccifer. Hell yeah, dude.
That's so funny.
Because I'm the devil, but I have expensive taste.
Amazing. And very good wordplay.
Thank you. So this Romanian hacker, Guccifer, retrieves emails and sends the proof to Gawker, saying that she has been sending information to both advisors and friends with a private email when she's supposed to be using her government email. And since her email address was in the article and compromised because of that, she changed her email, and we do not know the new one at this point. Then, in July, because of this hack, Hillary's private email server was changed again to be backed up by a McAfee-owned cybersecurity company. Now she's getting desperate.
Fuck it. Yeah, you got to be to go for McAfee. Jeez. The crazy rich guy, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Oy.
In September of 2013, the National Archives and Records Administration said that personal emails can be used by government officials and employees in case of emergencies, but they should be captured and recorded for record-keeping purposes.
So up until that point, though, technically the whole email thing she was doing was perfectly legal.
Yes. Depending on what she's sending is the problem, and receiving.
Okay.
In 2014, early on in this year, the State Department requests that all former secretaries of state, quote, submit any records in their position for proper preservation, unquote. So now they have to start turning in emails to make sure that they're being recorded properly.
So
any emails they send via personal emails.
Yeah, so that's that was the big declaration of, hey, so you know how you haven't had to report anything? Guess what? Not only do you have to start reporting it, but everything you've done, you need to report it now.
Yeah, exactly. They weren't taking it lightly.
So that was the big, oh, fuck.
Now, during this year, Hillary did hand over some emails, about 55,000 pages, which equates to around 30,000 emails. She did, however, mention she left out emails herself and her advisors established to be too, quote-unquote, personal. In December of this year, President Obama signed an update to the Federal Records Act that expanded on how exactly private emails should be used. This new update prohibits, quote, the use of private email accounts by government officials unless they copy or forward any such emails to their government account within 20 days, unquote. And that's most likely for record keeping. Now, on to 2015, the year in question. State Department spokeswoman Maria Harf says the following, quote, there's no indication that Secretary Clinton used her personal email account for anything but unclassified purposes. While Secretary Clinton did not have a classified email system, she did have multiple other ways of communicating in a classified manner, including assistants printing documents for her, secure phone calls, and secure video conferences, unquote. Now, I'm trying to unpack what she's saying here. It sounds like Clinton did not have the access to a secure government email address, but that's just bogus because which Secretary of the State didn't have one? She had one. She could have used it.
Yeah.
But in order to use this government system email, it's being tracked and recorded, everything you send and everything you receive. So, of course, if she's sending shady shit, she doesn't want it in that email address. She's going to use her personal one.
See, now this is where I get a little confused, where it's like, oh, Hillary needs to show her emails and blah, blah, blah. But like, what if it was just like work-related shit? Like it was just kind of boring, like planning and blah, blah, blah.
We'll get into what some of it had to do with.
Okay.
Without detail because they didn't release the details, but there's some damning stuff that we need to talk about.
Okay.
Now, after the spokeswoman said this, there was about a 48-hour silence from old Hillary, but she finally tweeted, quote, I asked the Senate to release them. They said they will review them for release as soon as possible, unquote, referring to her emails. The very same day the tweet was sent out, the House committee that was investigating the 2012 attack on the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya, issued a subpoena for all of Clinton's Benghazi-related emails. Benghazi was fucked.
Yeah. What happened there?
There was a U.S. consulate in Libya that got attacked.
Oh, okay. What you just said.
It's okay. It's all good, man. Look, I know. It's later in the episode. My eyes are dry. Your dick's soft. We'll get through it.
I'm doing the best I can. Like I said, that hands-free thing is really going to come in handy in the future.
And the next day, this is where things start getting shadier. It's found that Hillary isn't registered as the actual owner of the domain and server used with her personal email. They are actually registered in the names of her aides, and she was using a proxy, which is never a good sign, with the, you know what I mean? That you may as well use a fucking VPN too.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm behind 7 proxies.
Yeah. And so she was using a proxy with the service in order to deter any knowledge she was involved. Yikes. Now, why would she do this? And it's obvious because all of this combined makes it a lot harder to trace anything back to her that is sent and received from that email and server.
So, probably nothing good.
Definitely nothing good. There is something I'm going to bring up at the end of this section, but it's more going to be talked about next episode.
Okay.
The day after that, on March 6th, the State Department begins investigating the emails, determining if anything could or should be released, and also trying to determine if Hillary had done anything wrong in the first place. And now we come to March 10th, 2015, where Clinton holds a 20-minute press conference. They called it a press encounter because it was 20 minutes long, but it was at the United Nations.
Oh, dude, that would be our new podcast name, Press Encounters of the Podcast Kind.
Yes. Yeah, our new political podcast. It's perfect.
I love it. Press Encounters of the Podcast Kind. Not bad.
So this was at the United Nations. This is kind of a big fucking thing. And she said multiple notable quotes, which I will say now. Quote, "At the end, I chose not to keep my private personal emails. Emails about planning Chelsea's wedding or my mother's funeral arrangements, condolence notes to friends, as well as yoga routines, family vacations, and other things you typically find in inboxes," unquote. So it's basically saying she deleted those personal emails because they were just, you know, talking about weddings and funerals. And yeah, I'm fucking sure that's what she was talking about.
Do you really need a proxy to talk about weddings?
Do you have to jump 3 servers and a proxy? All this shit? Do you have to? No, I don't think so. You send it on your Gmail, okay? Quote, "I opted for convenience to use my personal email account, which was allowed by the State Department because I thought it would be easier to carry just one device for my work and for my personal emails instead of 2, unquote. It's not convenience. Like we just mentioned, she had to jump 3 servers and like go through a proxy and have her aides sign up for these different like servers. There was nothing convenient about it. The only thing convenient was that she wasn't going to get traced back to these emails.
That's actually a pretty good point. Yeah.
I'm just going to dismantle each one of these points, man, because she's full of shit. We all know she's full of shit, dude. She's a reptilian bitch.
Well, yeah, because if it was about convenience, then why didn't she just, you know, use her work emails?
Exactly. Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
And I get it. It's like, you don't want your news. I don't want my boss to see, like, you know, I'm like working on but like, I won't say graduation, but probably not. But still, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of, it's not adding up super well.
Hell no. Clinton would also disclose how her emails were encrypted. Quote, "Given what people with ill intentions can do with such information in this day and age, there are concerns about broadcasting specific technical details about past and current practices," unquote. And that doesn't make any sense because in her first quote at this conference, she was talking about how she decided to get rid of these emails because they were all about weddings and about condolence notes and stuff like that. So what does she care if those get compromised? The only thing that she should care about getting compromised is shit she shouldn't be sending.
Mm-hmm.
So that just negates her first argument.
Okay.
Ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous, man.
I'm still in the gathering phase. I don't have a full opinion yet. I need to hear the whole story.
Quote, "I trust the American people to make their decisions about political and public matters, and I feel like I've taken unprecedented steps for these emails to be in the public domain. I went above and beyond what I was requested to do," unquote.
Did she though?
So you're telling me that going above and beyond her duty to America at the time was to delete a bunch of personal emails, claim that they had to do with, you know, a funeral, yoga, all this bullshit, all this shit she's spewing out of her mouth, and then just conveniently handing over other emails.
So is this where the controversy comes in? Is people are just like, what? Because she deleted them? Is that what's going on, or she just refuses to release them?
Because she deleted emails that should have been given to her superiors, given to the government.
I see. So since it was a public email address. Okay. See, sorry, I'm still like trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong. So she had a private email address that was not work related, and then the report the call came in of like, hey, you need to give all your shit to the government now. And so what she did is she gave some of them and then deleted a shit ton of other ones.
Yeah.
So then everyone's like, wait, why the fuck did you do that? That was supposed to go to the government. And then she's like, you know what? I gave you guys a shit ton. Like, why do these matter? It's just about funerals and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening right now.
Okay.
So that was it for the quotes at the United Nations. All right. Now, 2 days later, on March 12th, another State Department spokesperson named Jen Psaki, it's Psaki, come on now, tells reporters that they would be removing any emails, quote, deemed not to be agency records, unquote. Now, I don't know what that means because she is a spokesperson for the State Department. I assume that they're talking about they are looking through the emails that she did hand over, and they're going through to see which ones they will be removing that are of no relevance, basically.
I see.
So now the State Department is sifting through the emails that she did turn in.
So I think this will make more sense once I figure out once we get into like what she's being accused of actually doing.
Yes, and there are two things about that. Now let's get a move on here. Now that we have a little bit of background, see, the investigations go on and on and on. But as they begin releasing emails, it becomes quite clear that there was some shady information being sent and received by Hillary via encrypted personal emails. Now, of course, Hillary denied ever sending or receiving classified information via her personal email. But an FBI investigation and the numbers that they come up with beg to fucking differ. Come on,
really?
Now. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Do you think that she's not sending classified stuff?
Oh yeah, to a degree, but also too, that's another thing is up until, was it 2013 though, what she was doing technically was legal, but
come on, man. Look, let's get into the numbers here. Let's get into the numbers, and then you tell me if there wasn't a better way to do this.
Okay, all right. What do you got?
110 emails sent contained information which was deemed classified at the time.
Probably not good.
Very not good. 65 of those emails had the classified level of secret, and over 20 of them had contained information considered top secret.
Really not good.
There is no reason that you should be sending that many classified emails with those levels of restriction in a personal email server that you have jumped through hoops to make sure nobody knows that you're behind it. If you have other ways to do it, it's ridiculous.
So it's more of because it's a threat to national security that this sensitive of information is going through a personal email account, which could be arguably more easily hacked than, say, like a government server or something like that. Is that kind of the accusation?
That is the accusation, but also I think they could use look, I don't know the details, but I'm pretty sure that they were allowed to use their personal emails for work-related stuff, but not classified shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's just common knowledge.
Yeah. And like I said, so it's a national security threat. That's really where the reason why people are so mad about this. Or is it because of who they think she was talking to?
It's a national security threat.
Okay.
But I don't know who was receiving these emails. It was said that 38 people were hit with litigation because of these emails. And I assume those are people that she was sending stuff to. I don't know any details because they haven't released any. I don't think they've released any specifics. That's what's shady also.
Okay, so is that something we're going to get into more next episode? Because I still feel like I don't really have like my claws into this like super fully yet. Like I still don't really. I understand national security shit and stuff like that, but like people are treating it like she just gave away like nuclear secrets. Like,
well, we don't know what she was giving away. She could have. That's the problem.
Deleted. So, so some people are thinking she's like a traitor or think she might be colluding or something like that. But it's all speculation at this point, right?
To us, to the general public, it is.
Okay. So, but yeah, so next episode, we're going to kind of go into that speculation?
I'm going to get into speculation next episode, but it's going to be a complete turn in the emails because the most important thing that we've learned by looking closer at Hillary Clinton's emails is fucking Pizzagate. That is and we are going to be talking about that because I'm raring to go. I have not forgotten, never forget, never fucking forget Pizzagate. So we will be talking about that and we'll see what happens when we take a closer look at Hillary Clinton's emails. Now we have proof of these strange ass emails that we're going to be talking about. Imagine the ones that she deleted. Imagine what those could have possibly been. I doubt if they were as mundane as she said, she would send it over like it was nothing, right? Like she was supposed to do. If she supposedly went above and beyond. But no, she deleted them and she deleted them for a purpose.
Mm-hmm. So I could see it. It's like her talking about sketchy shit that like the government's doing anyways. But the problem is that she put it in an area that might be publicly accessed, which one could argue, isn't that like, shouldn't we be like happy about that? That there was, I mean, obviously the chance was lost because she deleted the emails, but that there was an opportunity it could have been leaked. But well, no, because if it was like actual real government secrets that enemies could exploit, that would put us in danger. That's why people are mad, right?
For the emails that she turned in and they discovered, yes. But the main thing that you should be mad about is the emails she deleted. That's the issue here.
Okay, because that might be like Illuminati stuff or something.
It was probably Illuminati reptilian bullshit. That's honestly what it was. She just didn't get a chance to delete those Pizzagate emails in time. That's essentially what it comes down to. Look, if you're using a proxy and you're using other people's names to register for secure domains, you're hiding something. Mm-hmm. It's not a personal email anymore. That is a throwaway. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but is there also just as likely of a chance that it really was just mundane and that there ends up being nothing?
Not with the Clintons. Not with the Clintons, my friend.
Well, all right. If I've learned anything from this point is they're shifty people.
They are a shifty people. And okay, guys, look, so if you have learned anything from this episode, I want you to keep in mind one thing while we're waiting for the next episode to come out. The Clintons are liars, bastards, and frauds. It's plain and simple. Bill Clinton is a rapist. Hillary Clinton's a liar and a reptilian. And yes, that could be said for a majority of people involved in politics.
Right.
But there's more of a reason to this, which I said we'll get into next episode. And that's honestly it for the background episode. We hope you enjoyed the real life situations that the Clintons are showing to the public or against their will, essentially. Next episode, we're going to be getting into the juicy shit. We're going to be getting into what's actually happening, like what all this is essentially a front for to distract us from the reality.
Of Nick's definition of truth, essentially, is what he's saying.
There are dozens of us who believe, dozens of people.
Mm-hmm. Well, and what I'm kind of excited about is because obviously we couldn't really get into it here because, time's sake and also for, just in terms of dividing our subject matter, but their connection with Epstein and that whole thing. I mean, ever since it happened with the Epstein thing, I've been excited to kind of dig our teeth a little into it because now it's been a while. So now it's like, I feel like we can more properly kind of look at it.
Yes. And another reason too, that we wanted to save it for next episode is because let's be honest, guys, we only have so much information, real information about the connections between Clinton and Epstein, but we know what's going on behind the scenes. We have look, Epstein started a revolution. a pedophilic revolution on their side, but on our side, when all the stuff started coming to light, everybody who ever thought that the government and their hoity-toity friends were fucking kids and paying for it would be deemed fucking crazy. Would they be like, you are an insane person and we will not believe you. But oh no, as soon as Epstein gets actually convicted of pedophilic stuff, then all of a sudden, everybody and their sisters are conspiracy theorists, and I'm left here in the dust being like, okay, we've been talking about this for like 15 years, and now just because one dude there's actually proof in your eyes, now it's okay? Now it's okay for you guys to be woke and shit, and you guys can join the fucking bandwagon? No! We were here first. We will continue to talk about it, and I will say things that will make you think I'm crazy. But when it comes true in 15 years again, just remember this podcast. Remember what I said, okay? I get frustrated.
Are you gatekeeping being a tinfoil hat crackpot?
You bet your ass. You bet your Irish Mexican ass that I'm gatekeeping conspiracy theories.
Spoken like a true conspiracy theorist.
There are two things in this world I gatekeep. Three things.
Okay.
One, conspiracy theories. And the fact that I was here first and that you people called me crazy and I'm not.
Right.
Two, goth. People call goth, and it's not goth unless you like goth music. Fuck off.
Fair.
Skinwalkers. Three, I go on Reddit every day. I love Reddit. I love it. There's a subreddit for skinwalkers, naturally, right? I go on there, check out people's stories and shit. 90% of their stories, the title says, "Did I encounter a skinwalker?" And I ask them, did this happen in New Mexico, Utah, or Arizona? If they say no, I just tell them it wasn't a fucking skinwalker. Get your shit together. You know what a skinwalker is. Why are you coming to Reddit and asking if you've seen a skinwalker in Pennsylvania? It drives me batty. So those are the three things I gatekeep hard, all right?
Well, we can't argue that you do have a very high level of passion for what you care about, which is, it's an admirable quality outside of, your, we were just talking about charisma, which is dangerous.
I have a dangerous charisma. I am dangerous, but I also like goth music and I like post-punk. And when people are talking about like, oh, look, like all these fucking Gen Zers always talking about, oh, wanting a goth, look how goth I am, or look how goth they are. I'm like, name a goth band. I'm not even going to say five. Name a goth band. And they'd be like, oh, Fall Out Boy. I was like, you go fuck yourself, all right? You can go fuck yourself right now. Fall Out Boy is not even emo. That's another thing I gatekeep. Emo. Panic at the Disco, My Chemical Romance, Fall Out Boy, all those guys, not emo. Emo is rock. Emo. Yes, exactly. Emo is a basically a more emotional version of hardcore punk. That's all it is.
AFI, that counts, right? I know they're more poppy, but AFI?
They did start off as closer to punk, so I'll let it slide.
Okay, so they're gray area, kind of barely, but we'll give it to this one.
Yes, that's it. I'm done with my rant. Look, let's circle it back to Epstein. Epstein, you all thought we were crazy, right? Even Tasker believes there's weird shit going on in the government. So you all thought we were both crazy, but look now.
Yeah. See, aliens, I'll tell you, is the ghosts and monsters, I'm gonna roll my eyes at. But no, the government, though, that's no joke. Like I don't think they're as powerful as some theorists believe, but I do think they do some really under the table stuff all the time. And Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself.
He did not kill himself. The Clintons probably had a hand in it. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I will do the research and I will talk about it next week. But until then, we hope you guys enjoyed this background. We hope you enjoy our new political podcast. We're no longer talking about aliens or cryptids. So anybody who liked that stuff before, too bad. Too bad.
Fuck, we just got like new album artwork too. Do we have to change it again for press encounters of the podcast kinds?
Yeah, now it's just going to be a camera and a microphone and a what do they call those things? A podium. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty good. Or we could just do like a photo of just like one of us just like sitting on the toilet, just holding a newspaper.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I sit to pee too, so it's perfect. You can catch me anytime.
A lot of accurate imagery there too. So I think we could make it work.
Yeah, hopefully we're such good actors you believed us. But don't worry, we'll be back with Alien episodes, and we will be talking about aliens next week. So strap in.
Yeah, it's gonna be gnarly. So, like I said, this was more of a way of kind of a shoot off point, or that sounded really.
Yeah, that sounded like you were a porn star for a second.
Call it what you will, but I mean, if anybody knows anything about shoot off points, though, it'd probably be Count Chocula, who's I know has his fair share of cases against him.
Yeah, look, when talking about shoot off points and Count Chocula, there was a letter that I received in the mail not too long ago from him and his representatives asking if I'd like to be in a movie. And I refused at first, but they sent a second letter saying that this movie it's an adult film.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you guys are horror movie buffs or if you could even call this a horror movie, but there's a movie called A Serbian Film.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's along the same premise of these letters I'm getting. I refuse to go because I know how sick Count Chocula is, and I've seen Serbian Film one too many times to know where this is going. If anybody here receives an email or a letter from Count Chocula and his representatives asking to be in an adult film, paying handsomely, do not do it.
Yeah, and just Google A Serbian Film if you're curious. It's fucked up. It's some pretty fucked up shit. So you don't want that to be you. You did say earlier that you considered it for a second, though. What was up with that?
Look, man, the check was almost just right money wise,
but just not quite there.
Not quite enough to reenact a Serbian film. That's just, especially in real life. So hard pass on that.
Right.
I know they're just trying to get me blackmailed and framed, essentially. That's what the whole movie was going to be about. I mean, if I had to reenact those scenes, that's blackmail for life. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to let Count Chocula get the upper hand. So I refused. Remember, check your mail. If you see anything from Count Chocula, shred it. Shred it. Yep. Lock your windows, lock your doors, buy a gun. You're going to need it.
Yeah. Well, fuck, dude. I got a text today that was like, Netflix, and due to COVID-19, is giving everybody a free year of their service. And I fucking blocked the number and deleted it because that's obviously a scam. So if I would have clicked that link, they would have had my phone GPS forever.
So it's the same situation with me. It's just blackmail. So I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm. Smart. Be savvy. Be careful. If it seems too good to be true, probably is. DTA, don't trust anyone. Chug that beer and make it through your day. And if you've made it through this episode, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. This has been a fantastic 50-episode run. And we're going to be making more because I could have just said, this is our last episode. We're going to, no. Sorry if you got a little excited. Too bad. We're gonna keep making new episodes. We're gonna keep things going. We got a part 2 coming. It's gonna be awesome. But till then, if you are listening on iTunes, if you could please 5-star rate and review, that could really help boost us in numbers, get us on that front page someday. That would be super cool and would really spike us up. And you can all join us on our Discord, which I'm getting to that link soon. Spotify, drop that clicker mouse button bullshit and click follow. That was needlessly elaborate, but hey, follow us. New episodes every Wednesday. Instagram is @CEOTPK. YouTube, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. Twitter is @CEOTPK1. Our Facebook is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. And you can find all of these links on our Facebook page. Email us at ceotpk1@gmail.com or discord.gg/b 6 C T 5 M X. Once again, on Facebook, that is where all of these links will be found. And you can follow us and get updates on new episodes as they drop.
Hey, guys, really quick about YouTube. Look. Even if you listen to us on any other thing but YouTube, which most of you do, please go subscribe to YouTube. I'm trying to get us to enough subscribers to where we can start doing live streams. So when I'm bored and drunk on Saturdays, I can just shoot up the live stream. So please, just really quick, go take a second, subscribe to us on YouTube so your boy can hop on live stream. That's all I want to do. That's all I've been wanting to do. I just want to go on there and drunkenly talk.
Be a streamer.
Yeah. So go ahead. It'll be fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Nick's taking the reins on the YouTube, and we'll see how far it goes. Let's see how long it takes before Nick gets us banned for those live streams.
Yeah, I will. I will for sure get us banned, but we'll enjoy it while it lasts. All right, guys.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
And look, whether you're a Bill or if you're more of a Hillary, hopefully you're neither. The truth is out there.
The truth can be there. Sometimes it's not. In the case of Epstein, it's kind of obvious. You can figure it out. But I don't know. It's not.
Okay, that was a wrong way to put it.
Yeah.
Let me redo that.
Good catch.
Thank you. I'll rephrase that. It looked more innocent on the outline.